Hey everyone, it's Monday again, and it's time for Monday Muses. And I took a day off last week for Memorial Day, and now I have so much stuff to show you. It's just like I'm just going to crowd this video full of stuff. So first of all, I want to tell you that I was the lucky winner of a creative palette from Stampendous, and it's can be used for monoprinting. It can be used for here's a lot of ideas on the back here. Can be used for just as a regular palette, or a lot of things, and it's easy to clean. So I wanted to show this to you, and it comes in this clamshell, and it has two acetate covers on it, and I'm going to pull this one off, and I'm going to leave the other one on, the one on the back on, the one that's a little bit larger. I'm going to leave that on, and I want to show you here. Let me put this clamshell back on top of it for a moment. I want to show you some of the things that I have been doing, playing with it. This is the first print that I had, and I'm using the new heavy body acrylic paints by Dina Wakley. And let's see, I'm trying to think what I used. I used Tangerine and Sky, and I might have used Night. Here's some black gesso. There's magenta. Oh, blackberry violet. I think that's what I used, was those three right there. There's, I think, 12 colors. Here's lemon, ruby. Here's lime. Here's umber. I think that's a raw umber from the look of it. White, turquoise, and lapis. Okay, so let me pull these out of the way for a minute. And so on this one, I think, okay, I used sky and lemon and ruby, or no, tangerine, and maybe magenta, I think was there. Yeah, magenta. And so I spread it on my palette, and I pulled this print. I'll do one for you so you can see how to do it. And then I used one of her stamp sets, hoping to get the rest of them that she has out, but they're out of stock right now. Anyway, it's these little birds. And what I also did is I took one of those birds and I made a color chart for myself for each of Dino's colors. And then here's the black gesso, and then this is black gesso with the white stamped over top of it. So all of these are stamped in her paint. So I did that so I can have a color chart for myself. So then I also used a stencil by Stencil Girl, and let me find it. I think that's, no, wait, I'm sorry. This is from Balzer Designs by Crafter's Workshop, and it's called Mini Silhouette Script, and you can see how that looks. And so I how did I do that? I think, okay, yeah, I laid my stencil down, and then I used the black, or the night. I used night, not quite black, and went over top of it. And then because I didn't get it to come out real good right there, I tried several times to do it with the white, but I just wasn't having success, so I just took a white paint pen and scribbled on top of there. And then I stamped on some of the sentiments from this, it's called Scribbly Bird. And I don't know if you can tell, and I did this in archival ink, and I don't know if you can tell, but I stamped it upside down there first. And so then real quickly I took hand sanitizer and a Q-tip and cleaned it off, and so it's still there, but it's background, so it kind of looks like it's on purpose. And then I stamped it correctly over top of it. So this is one print that I made, and then without re-inking, I pulled the same print off of it. And then what I used on this one is Tim Holtz's stamp set called Mercantile, and I just took the same stencil, and then I took those stamps and I stamped all over it, and the colors I used were, let's see, Archival Dandelion, Archival Orange Blossom. These are the Wendy Vecchi set. And then I also used Forget Me Not in the blue. So you can see the blue in here, because orange and blue are complementary colors, so you're always going to have a good color scheme when you use those together. So that's my second print. Same paint as made this one, but I didn't have to, you know, I wanted to use up all my paint, so I just used, you know, I did this one first, and then I pulled this one, and then I even have this one on the back. So I put some of the night color on over the stencil and was experimenting. So not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. And then I have one that I also use this stamp set with, but this is more of this is just the blackberry. Let me see what it is. The blackberry violet and night, and I think a little bit of sky I used on here. And what I did was, when I stamped these stamps on here, I also used clear embossing powder and embossed them so that so I stamped them in Archival and then poured clear embossing powder on it, and that enhanced that black right there. And then after that I put Perfect Pearls, the mint, and the, what's it called? What's this one called? Perfect Pearl.
Ruined your video.
So I put these over top of it, and what I did was I sprayed with my water bottle. I sprayed on my paper, and then I just took a Perfect Pearls. Is this it? Yeah. Paintbrush, and just dipped into the pot and spread it around. And then after a while, I had gotten so much of it on my craft sheet that I just sprayed the pearls that were there, and then picked up the wet pearls and spread some more. So I don't know if you can see that shining, but it's there. So I will save this and use it for something Halloween-ish. So there's a few things that I've done with my creative palette, just now starting to get to know it, so I will be doing a lot of experimenting with it. But let me just go ahead and pull a print off of it to show you how it works. And let's go ahead and use, I need to grab my extender. Okay. I'm going to use my Traditions extender on it. It says to use any slow drying medium. So let's use some lime. Just gonna dab it here and there in different places. And let's use, I love the blackberry violet, so I'm going to use that. Use a lot of that. And let's see. Let's go with the lemon. I want this to be bright and summery. Okay, so we've got some of that on there. Now I'm going to what's the best way to put this on? Let's see. I think I'm going to take a paintbrush and just kind of dip it in and splash it on here and there. That'll work. Oh, and I got some on my paintbrush. Some paint on my paintbrush. Okay, so now I'm going to take a brayer and I'm going to spread this ink around. Now I'd like to have more green. I feel like I lost my green, so I'm going to put some more green on. Find it. Found it. Okay, so I'm just going to pop some more green on here. And we'll spread that out some more. Okay, now I'm going to set my brayer off to the side. And I'm going to take some bubble wrap and press down into it. Here and there. What that's doing is mostly taking away paint right now. I'm going to, what else am I going to do? Let me grab a stamp. Here is the bottom of some stamps that I got that are like, well, I'll show you. Okay, this was the bottom of these kind of stamps. So I saved this, and I'm just going to see if I can use it to make some impressions. Yep, that's pretty cool. Big circles. Okay. And then I have Tim Holtz's splatter, coffee splatter stamp, so let's push that in and remove some paint in that shape. Okay, so let's put a piece of paper on and pull print. So I've got just some plain white cardstock, and I'm going to lay it down, and I'm going to press down. And then let's pull it straight up. And this is what we get. Now I made some mud, didn't I? I made some mud. Didn't follow my color theory, and I made some mud. But it's interesting mud. So let's pull that off to the side. And what can I do to make that, to brighten that up? Let's put some orange on. And some sky. And I didn't take off what I've already got. So I'm going to take my brayer and I'm going to wipe it off. Wiping the wet paint off with a towel. Okay, I'm going to come back and make these holes again. Whoops. And I'm going to use this coffee splatter stamp again. Alright, so let's take another piece of cardstock and pull this print. See, I think I got two here. Oh, there we go. This is nice. Much better. Okay, so I'm going to set this off to the side, and I'm going to take one more cardstock and I'm going to push it right back down in there. Same puddle of paint. Pull it off, and we have same colors but a little bit lighter, a little more interest, different interest, just a little bit different. And then I'm going to, now I'm going to take some water and spritz. Let that react a little bit. Put a piece down. Go again. And now I have something totally different. And let's see, I think I'm going to try one more piece of cardstock. I've got a small piece right here. And I also wanted to show you that you can put alcohol on. Let's go ahead and smooth this out again. Now it's kind of smooth, but kind of not, because we have less paint. So we've got a few holes in there. And I'm going to come back in with my stamp. And I think this works better than my bubble wrap. I think my bubble wrap was too small. Okay. And let's put that there. Oh, I forgot to put the alcohol on. Okay, we'll do that. So we have mud again. So let's put this alcohol on. Spread it around a little bit. Let me come back with a little bit of orange and blue. Woohoo! Oh, that's not nice. That's messy. And if the lime didn't get away from me again, it did. How can that one paint color just keep getting lost? There it is. Okay, now remember I've got alcohol in there. And we've got our mud paint, but we've got some new paint. Okay. Shake the alcohol back on a little bit. See how that reacts. And now I'm going to take one of these sheets that is dry already. That's pretty dry. And I'm going to set it down. It's not dry altogether, so I'm going to get my hands all dirty for this print. And we have something else completely different. I think I'm going to experiment this way. My brayer is dirty, but it's kind of adding some interest. And there we go. We have a whole other type of print. So this is what you can do with your creative palette. Then when you're ready to clean it, you can spray it with some water and pull a lot of it off. This is my dirty painting towel. You can use hand sanitizer. Have to buy some more. You can scrub it off with a brush and either water or alcohol or hand sanitizer. You can use your baby wipes on it. And it will be good as new. Scrubbing a little bit because I don't have really enough hand sanitizer to put on there to make it easy, because I have to go get some. But you can have a whole lot of fun and then just spend about 30 seconds to a minute on cleaning it. So, and then you know, you can also use it just as a regular palette for your paints. Okay, so that's one of the cool things I wanted to show you. I'm going to put it back in its clamshell. And then I wanted to show you some new dies that I picked up. So let me grab those. Okay, so here is the Tim Holtz layered butterfly, and it comes with its folder as well, its embossing folder. And I have one that I cut out. And I can go over that. See, I've got some frayed burlap here. And let's see, yeah, I'm going to use that. And then I'm just going to wipe over top of it, just gently, and that brings out all of that really cool embossing. So this is one that's going to be really fun to use. So there's that one. And then we have the sand dollar. This one's called Sand and Sea, and I cut these out of some craft paper, so I'm going to do some things with those later on. And then we have the matchbox. This is really cool. So here's the matchbox die, and I made a few. They are so easy. They don't even have, let's see, I think there's only one place where you need to adhere, and that's on the side of the lid, because the box part just folds in. And I used some of my old scraps. I really love this one out of the license plate. And these are just scraps from the little squares and the Tim Holtz stashes, and they make really fun little boxes, matchboxes. So I've got that. And let's see, another one is the Artful Arrows, and that cuts out so many different things, different shapes and different arrows. Pretty nice to have. And there is a matching stamp set that goes with that as well. And then the other one is the tarnished trophies, and I cut those out of Tim's mirrored, well, I cut them out of some regular cardstock first, but I also cut them out of the mirrored material, and I don't have the film off of this yet, but you just see when you take the film off of it, then you've got the perfect silver trophy. So I'm going to be using all of these in different things, so I wanted to show them to you. Then the last thing I wanted to share with you today is a Father's Day card. Let me get all my little print sheets out of the way so that we can work on the Father's Day card. Okay, so you know, my favorite paper besides Tim's is Graphic45, and I'm in love with the good old sport paper. So I made a Father's Day card, or I started making one, and we'll finish it together out of the good old sport paper. And what I did is I took one of Tim's cabinet cards and I cut out the center of one of the papers. I use the 8x8, and I cut out the center of this page right here. Oh, there's what's left of it. Used to be. Okay. So that's what I used, and you still have the edges that you can use. And my bubble wrap out of the way. I want to make a mess. Okay. Oh, and you also want to be sure to clean the paint off of your stamps right away. Almost forgot to do that. Let me do that real quick. You can do that with soap and water, or you can do it with alcohol or hand sanitizer. Right now I'm using a baby wipe to get most of it off of there real quick. Okay. And this thing, I don't think I'm going to really bother with it because it's not really a stamp. I've just got it to use for texture, so that's okay. Alright. So I used the cabinet card, and this is cool because it's got a design on the back. So what I'm going to do with that cabinet card is I'm going to put some small pop-ups on the back of it, just on the edges. So that after the recipient of the card gets it, they can peel this off and save it or use it, maybe stick it on something or use it as a bookmark, put it up on a trophy shelf or something like that, a memorabilia shelf, without the rest of the card if that's what they desire. So I'm just putting these little things, the little tiny pop-ups, in the corners, way at the edges of the corners. These are hard for me to deal with. My fingers are fat and arthritic, so these are a little hard sometimes. Bear with me. And just one more. Okay. So I took my card base and I distressed the edges first with frayed burlap and then with brushed corduroy, with the frayed burlap going in farther and the brushed corduroy just doing the edges to kind of warm them up a little bit. And I did that on the outside and on the inside and on the back and on the front. And now as I try to get these ready to stick on, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stick this to the front of my card. I didn't even adhere this in here. It just slides in and stays nicely. So there's that. And then on the inside of my card, I used the page that has here it is, that has different borders on it, and I cut out kind of a wide border because the person that I'm sending this to likes all kinds of sports, and so I wanted to include kind of everything on there. So I did that, and then I took one of my all-time favorite dies, the Cameo die, and I cut out, used one of the background colors for this page, and I'm going to adhere it down as soon as I find my adhesive. There it is. And my adhesive is empty. So let's grab another. Okay, and I'm going to put this in the center, but I'm going to put it up towards the top. Okay, and then I cut these also from that same border page from here, and I cut them all three because I couldn't decide which one to use. Football is on the front, but again, as I said, my recipient likes all sports, so I'm going to have to do this towards me instead of towards the camera so I get it right. I'm going to put the football one on top because that's what the card is, but I'm going to layer these in a way that each of the each of the athletes on there shows. So I'm going to kind of do that, and then I'm going to put this one this way, yeah, that way, like that. And I'm going to put them here. I'm going to pop them up, but before I do that, I want to stamp Happy Father's Day sentiment, and So I've got one that one stamp set that you can build kind of whatever occasion it is for. And it does have an exclamation point, but I keep losing it. I lose it, and I find it, and I lose it again. So we'll have to do it without the exclamation point, or I'll put it on by pen. So I'm going to line these up on my acrylic block. Okay, and then I'm going to stamp that. Oh, I think I'm going to stamp it that way. Okay, so I'm going to put some black archival ink on there. Okay, so I've got that part done. And so here I am back to using my pop-ups, but I'm going to use a couple of bigger ones that are easier for me to deal with. Put one there. And you know, it's okay to use the waste from your pop-ups. Don't throw that stuff away because it's hidden. You can use this. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to put that right here. And I've got one more thing to add. I have the mirror cut out of my tarnished trophy, and that's going to go right there. Before I put it on, I want to dirty it up just a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and pull off the film, and I'm going to grab my black soot applicator sponge, and there should be enough on here to kind of do what I want to do, which is just barely rough it up a little bit, not much. And I don't want to take away from the shine. And then I'm going to pop it up as well. Using my pop-up waste. Now, if we're frugal with this stuff, then we can buy more toys. And I think I'll put a little bit on the center here. Okay. Alright, I could have put some on the handles, but I didn't. So now I want to do one more little thing. I want to make sure that's not smudged right there. And there's room right here for your you to write, to sign your name. I'm not going to put anything on that trophy because when the recipient looks at it, they see themselves. I was looking to see if I could put Love You Bunches, or, you know, I just really like this Stamp Sentiment, Love You Bunches, or Hello There. Let's see, or Today Makes Me Smile, thinking of you. Let's see if I can fit the Love You Bunches anywhere. No, not really on the front. So maybe we could stick it right there and then sign our names. That sounds good. Let's do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this on my stamp block, and let's stamp that right there, and we're finished. So that's my Father's Day card using Graphics45 and Tim, and then, you know, you can always put handmade or something like that on the back. And that's almost all I had to show you. One other thing is, I have a good friend named Sylvia, and she went to North Carolina and she saw some painted rocks, and she bought me back a flat rock to paint on, and I haven't decided yet what I want to paint on it, but I think I might try to feature that in next week after I figure out what I'm going to do with it. So I hope you enjoyed today, and I tried to make up for the no video last week by showing you all kinds of fun things to do, and I will see you next week. Have a good one.